leaving alcohol in your past is about getting rid of a bad habit, but also going forward, finding something in your future that is going to pull you away from the alcohol, right? Pull you into the future and leave alcohol behind you. I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Today I wanted to talk about quitting drinking alcohol, going for massive goals in your life and daring to fail, right? One of the big points about this is that if you don't do something, if you don't follow the goals that you really want to follow in your life, if you don't go after the big things that you want, those dreams that sort of keep you awake at night and make you think that life could be worthwhile, if you don't follow those dreams, then you've failed already. You've personally failed already, because that's what life is all about, is trying to do the best that you can for yourself, for your own life, and for the people's lives around you. I read a great quote recently, and I can't pin the name of it at this moment, but to paraphrase it, the guy was talking about the best book that you can give your children on building their own lives is you as a person. So, what you do in your life, what you strive for, what you don't strive for, these are the things that are going to leave an indelible mark on your children and on those around you. So, when you're talking about personal failure, of heading into these goals and trying to achieve the things that you really want to achieve, and when you don't do them, you're not only harming yourself, you're harming those people around you, right? The thing about dreaming big and the thing about going for your goals is that most people don't do it because they're afraid of failure. They're afraid of actually putting themselves out there to do what they want to do, because there are so many what ifs, there are so many uncertainties. What if this happens, or what if that happens, or what if I don't have this ability, what if I can't do this part of it, it's too long, it seems too far away. And this goes beyond the excuse. This is pure, it's like the fight or flight response, that animals go through. You often see either an animal running away from you, or it'll just, big animals will fight you, they'll try and kick your arse before you kick theirs. But there's also the part of the flight response is where an animal will just freeze and not do anything. And that's what some people do in their lives. I think that's a part of drinking, is once you get into the heavy drinking part of it, is people just freezing and doing what they think is the best thing to do. That if they don't do anything, nobody will notice them. They can just get through life with as minimal fuss as possible. What the fuck point is that? There's life is good. Life is there to enjoy. Life is there to pursue the things that you want to pursue, and we have every opportunity now in the West to do that. Even the poorest people who are living today live like the kings of a few hundred years ago. We all have diseases that only kings got back then. Gout and heart disease and all those kind of things were only the things that kings and queens got. The nobility, because they had access to all the richest foods and but we live better than they ever did, because of even the poorest home has, I've seen some poor homes around here, so it's probably not, but in general, relatively speaking, it's true. But you know, like, if you forget about your fear, if you try and come to terms with that fear, you know, and push on regardless of the fear, find your big reason why, you know, get that motivation inside you, why you're doing this. You know, this is one of the core principles from the beginning of maintaining, giving you the motivation first, and then maintaining that motivation regardless of what happens in your life. You know, Viktor Frankl said, if you give a man or a woman, give a person a big enough reason why, they will put up with any how, right? So if their motivation at the beginning to do this thing, the reason why they're doing it, is powerful enough, then no matter what happens, no matter what obstacles come up, you'll find a way through them, you know, you'll find a way around them. So, you know, having these goals, pushing yourself forward regardless of how you fear, it will build your self-confidence. It will, you know, it will unleash your mind. It will sort of push you forwards into dreaming bigger dreams, you know. So I often think, well, I don't know what to dream, you know. When I started this first, it was like I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. When I stopped drinking first, didn't know where I was going to be, what I was going to be doing, didn't know how to lead a life that was alcohol free, how to lead a social life, how to do things, you know, how to deal with all the time that I had on my hands now, you know, how to deal with the boredom. And this is not something that happens overnight, that you learn overnight. This takes time to learn, because, as I said, it's not the alcohol. The alcohol is out of your system within a very short space of time. What you have to deal with to overcome all these problems, the boredom, the feelings of what do you do now, is you have to dismantle the framework, the lifestyle that you've built around alcohol. And you can only do that a bit at a time, you know. So, but it's when you start to deal with the alcohol, or deal with that framework behind the alcohol, that's when you see the biggest gains in your life. That's when you start opening your mind up to what is truly possible for you. You know, what's possible for you is not possible for me, because you're a different person. You have different motivations, you have different baggage, you have different whatever. Everything about your life is different to mine. So what's going to motivate you, what's going to spur you on to do the things that you want to do, you know, that's completely different to me. So, but it's only by taking apart those that framework, that old self-defeating alcohol drinking framework, that you're going to start to see uncover the real things that you can do in your life. You're going to start to get creative about yourself, you know, and understand that, well, yeah, maybe I can do this, you know, maybe I can push myself a little bit further and do something else. Maybe I can go a bit further than that and a bit further than that. And as I say, it's a gradual process. This is not going to happen overnight. You know, you have to have patience with this. You have to first get yourself away from the alcohol. This is you know, I often talk about the keystone habits, you know, the fundamental habits that build everything else around yourself. So if you have a fundamental habit of maintaining your health by going out running every morning, right, that is going to build up into other areas of your life, because it's a positivity. It's a cornerstone of positivity. It's a foundation of positivity. It's a foundation that you're always trying to build on. So you're going to start thinking about your health in different ways, and how you can improve your health, say through your nutrition, or how you can improve the way that you think, how you can, you know, do just different things differently. So, but it all boils down to this cornerstone habit, and it's exactly the same the other way around. If you've got a cornerstone habit that is drinking alcohol, then that's going to affect all different areas of your life. You know, as you know yourself, you know, drinking alcohol doesn't just affect the time that you're drinking the alcohol. It affects before, when you're thinking about drinking. It affects during, when you're drinking the alcohol. and it affects afterwards, you know, when you're going through the consequences. I'm not just talking about the hangover, I'm talking about the mental state that you're going to be in, because your brain has been steeped in this toxin for however many hours, you know, and the physical feelings that you're going through, the mental sort of tiredness, sluggishness and consequences are going to last a lot longer than that actual physical tiredness, you know. So, you know, if you drink every day, you're never going to be out of that, you know, and it's only through quitting drinking that you're going to start to break down these, you take away that foundation stone first, and then you start to break down all the other accumulated and associated behaviors that have built up that big framework around your whole life, right? So it's only when you do that that you start to uncover all these good things about your life, your goals and all that kind of stuff. So so just think about, you know, your life from those perspectives, you know, from the perspective of the short term. What are your short term goals? What can you aim for in the short term? What are your long term goals? How can you improve in different areas of your life? Look at your goals from as many different aspects of your life as you can and aim towards that. You're always should be focusing on the future. Don't focus on anything that's going behind you. Goals are going to be something that pull you forwards, away from the alcohol. They're going to build your focus towards that area. I mean, what you focus on is what you get, basically. So your focus, if you focus on the alcohol, that's basically where you're going to ultimately bring yourself. But if you focus on a long-term goal, then, you know, you're going to have a lot more chance of achieving that long-term goal into the future, you know. So always maintain your focus into the future and away from the past, and never be afraid of failure. I mean, failure is a part of every person's success. You know, every person that has ever achieved anything in life has gone through a certain amount of failure, has gone through a certain amount of trying, failing, going through iteration after iteration after iteration until they actually succeed. If you look at it from that perspective, then failure is the engine of success. So you can't achieve success without going through a certain amount of failure. So don't be afraid of it. So if you have any comments about that, any questions, leave them down below. If you've got, if you want to hear the audio of this, go over to the website. It's down below the video. You can also subscribe to our newsletter over on alcoholmastery.com. It's in the sidebar, and there's a free HD video course, how to relax and be stress-free without alcohol, that goes along with that. So just sign up for the course and I'll send you out the link to that. Until next time, you know, embrace failure, embrace these things in your life, you know, especially when you're moving forward and you're failing in those little things that you're trying to achieve. Going forward, you know, failing going backwards is a different story, but that's for a different sort of video. For now, you know, embrace that failure going forwards and stay alcohol free, keep safe. I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Onwards and upwards.